Everybody loves a moment. Everybody loves noise. Everybody loves excitement. Everybody loves a win they can celebrate in public. But support can be loud without being real. People can cheer for what looks good in the moment and still disappear when the moment gets uncomfortable. That is part of what makes Palm Sunday hit differently. Jesus entered the city and the people praised him. They were excited. They were shouting. They were celebrating what they thought was happening. And from the outside, it looked powerful. It looked like momentum. It looked like acceptance. It looked like the kind of moment most people spend their whole lives chasing. But moments can be misleading. Because just because people are loud does not mean they are loyal. Just because a crowd is present does not mean they are planted. Just because somebody celebrates you in public does not mean they will stand with you in private. And that is not just a Bible story. That is life. Sometimes people love you when your story looks exciting. They love the version of you that feels easy to post, easy to praise, easy to attach themselves to. They love what they think you can do for them. They love the energy around your name. They love the look of progress. They love the possibility of being connected to something that feels big. But when purpose gets costly, when the road gets painful, when the assignment gets quiet, when obedience stops looking glamorous, suddenly the crowd gets different. And maybe you have lived that. Maybe you have seen people clap for the image and ignore the burden. Maybe you have seen people celebrate the idea of calling, but never understand the weight that comes with it. Maybe you have learned the hard way that attention is not the same thing as alignment. That is why fame is such a trap, because fame sells a fantasy. It tells people that being seen is the same as being fulfilled. It tells people that public attention is proof of value. It tells people that the goal is to have everybody looking at you. But Jesus never moved like that. He was never led by the spotlight. He was never addicted to the applause. He was never building his mission on the approval of the crowd. And that matters, because if your identity is built on applause, then silence will destroy you. If your confidence is built on attention, then rejection will break you. If your purpose is built on hype, then hardship will confuse you. But if your life is rooted in God, then even when people shift, you stay grounded. Palm Sunday is powerful because it reminds us that public celebration can happen right next to hidden misunderstanding. People can say the right words and still miss the real mission. They can call him king and still not understand what kind of king he is. And that still happens now. A lot of people want the version of faith that looks victorious in public. They want blessing without surrender. They want inspiration without transformation. They want the crown without the cross. They want the celebration without the sacrifice. But Jesus kept moving forward anyway. Why? Because he was not chasing their reactions. He was walking in assignment. He already knew the crowd could change. He already knew emotions could shift. He already knew praise from unstable hearts could turn into distance, confusion, and betrayal. And still, he kept going. That means your purpose cannot be built on who claps for you. Your calling cannot be built on who notices you. Your obedience cannot be built on who stays excited about you. Because people change, trends change, support changes, culture changes, but truth does not. So maybe the real question is not who is cheering for me right now. Maybe the real question is, what am I standing on when the cheering stops? Because the crowd can hand you a moment, but only God can give you something eternal. And that leaves us with the tension of Palm Sunday. If Jesus knew the noise was temporary, if he knew the crowd was unstable, if he knew the praise would not last, then why did he keep moving forward? That is where Easter changes everything. Because next time we are going to talk about what Jesus was building that was bigger than applause, deeper than public opinion, and stronger than the changing voice of the crowd.